What's up, everybody? It's Alex from Heavy New York, and on the phone we got Adrienne from Seven Spires. Great to be able to talk to you.
Great to be here. Thank you.
Yeah, I know we were supposed to chat at the Gramercy Theater gig, but obviously circumstances surrounding a certain virus that shall not be named prevented this. But first and foremost, I really enjoy the latest album, Emerald Seas. It's absolutely beautiful. Do you just want to talk about how the making of this record was and the recording and all that?
Oh, sure, yeah. Let's see. We began writing actually even as early as 2015, before Solvay was released. But I don't think we began writing, or excuse me, I don't think we began recording until, when did we start recording?
Like late 2016 or
Late,
2017.
yeah, late 2017, I think.
Mhm.
And it was a similar process to how we did Solvay. Jack engineered pretty much everything except for, I think he co-engineered drums. And this is the first record that we had Chris. So that is a really huge improvement to our sound.
Definitely. You imagine you were working on these songs for a while now. It's crazy to think that you had some of these songs written during when we spoke at the Kingsland show. Did a lot of the arrangements of these songs change over the course of working on it for so long?
Generally, yes. Some of them, no. We write so far in advance because sometimes that's the only thing that we can do because of everyone's schedule, whether that's everyone's tour schedule or university schedule. But because, yeah, they do for so long, they have a long time to, I guess, mature. And, yeah, sometimes things can change quite a lot. I think Fearless probably changed the most,
Okay.
because the verses were kind of like this acoustic la-la thing, as our manager would call it.
Yeah. Well, I've noticed that there was a lot of like every song really was like its own experience. Like Succumb, which is an amazing song, and then going from there to Drowner of Worlds, Silvery Moon, Bury You, like many different vibes in the song. So it's fair to say you like there was no limits when making this record, right? There was a lot of experimentation.
Absolutely, yeah. We just wanted to let the songs become what they needed to be without limits.
Mm-hmm. Which is awesome. Was there any preconceived idea, or was there like a lot of improvising?
It was pretty much just improvising. I think the only kind of preconceived ideas that we had were that we wanted it to. We had the story in mind, I guess, and I think I wanted some more groovy moments compared to Solvay.
Okay. So some improvising, some preconceived notion. It seems like you were well prepared, but let anything fall into place.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. Well, one thing I was curious about is like because I thought this record was such an adventurous listen. Is it better if like the listener were to maybe listen to these songs from front, like in order to maybe get the full idea of the story of this album?
Oh yeah, I would always recommend people, anyone listening to our stuff, that they listen to it at least once front to back, just because we care so much about storytelling and that sort of thing. And I think that's really the only way that you can properly experience the story. But we also tried to write the songs so that they can stand well on their own.
Okay. So, like, is your goal to maybe engage the listener into the story of Emerald Seas, or can it also still be open to interpretation?
Basically both. But it would be nice if people got sucked into the story, just for.
Yeah.
It would be nice for me.
Yeah, of course, because, I figure, like, could the story itself also determine the outcome of the music as well?
Yeah, actually, yeah. We always try to draw from different genres and that sort of thing to help tell our stories. So something like Fearless, like when you really understand it in the context of the story, it kind of takes on more depth, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
The Silvery Moon especially takes on like an entire different character, I think, if you know it within the context of the story.
Mm-hmm. And I know that this was mixed by Sasha from Avantasia, right?
Yep.
Yep. So I'd imagine, because I know that you performed with him live numerous times, did maybe him mixing this album also bring in some newer elements as well?
Well, he did Solve as well. Actually, he did our original EP.
Oh, wow.
From way back in the day. Yeah. So, I don't know. I think he always brings his own magic touch to everything that he does. But yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, kind of like going back to like the story of Emerald Seas, like, because one thing I've noticed is like going with can the music in itself also tell the story as well? Because I was really into, not even just the vocals and the lyrics, but, in terms of the guitar melody and the rhythm, it almost seemed like everything counted. Do you think that maybe the instrumentation is just as imperative in telling the story as well?
Yes. We definitely used, for example, anytime the character has made port, we used an acoustic guitar. So in Ghost of a Dream, for example, it's very has these kind of like Spanish elements, I guess. For me, it sounds very much like I'm on land. And then for something like Fearless, we tried to use more like church organs to kind of, like Davy Jones, for example, he's bound at sea and he has this big-ass organ in his ship, so that was, I guess, the kind of inspiration there. Mm-hmm. But yeah, we tried to assign certain instruments to certain areas and characters, and I would say music definitely can tell the story, even without vocals.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but
it used to be a little more imaginative, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. Now, when I saw you live last year at the Kingsland show, I was absolutely amazed. And, it was a very different experience seeing you live versus, just simply listening to the album. Is there maybe a similar energy that you put into your live presence as you do in your songwriting, or is it a completely separate art altogether?
I think they're definitely a separate art, but I also, the guy that was supposed to be our driver and help us with merch said that he always felt that our live energy was kind of notably heavier than we are on record. And I think because we all try to serve the song as much as we can on record, I think we're more able to run free, run wild on stage with things. And so we all have our own backgrounds that really kind of come out to play at that point.
Yeah. Are you all like classically trained? Because I saw so much classical music in this, in your style, both live and in the album.
I know that at least is Chris classically trained? Yeah, I don't know if you can be a classically trained drummer. Yeah, we're all trained at we're all Berkeley trained musicians, I guess. Jack, Peter, and I are all have classical backgrounds. I don't really know about Chris. I guess he basically can play anything. So, yeah.
So I'd imagine, so are you focused on theory, or do you kind of just abandon it when you're songwriting?
Kind of both. Sorry, it's an annoying answer. A lot of the songs were written while I was in the middle of finishing my degree, which was focused on writing for orchestra, which is mostly in a classical or cinematic or video game setting. And everything that I learned there, I had to kind of just ignore while writing music. But I can't just forget that I learned it, so I guess it comes out in this way.
Yeah.
That's this thing about theory. People are I don't want to learn music. I don't want to get a musical education because I don't want it to, be present when I'm actually creating. I don't want it to ruin the magic. But I think that once it's had enough time to sit in your brain, it will just kind of not dissipate, but it will kind of melt into everything that goes into your creation. So you're no longer thinking oh, how can I resolve this cadence, or how can I make this totally illegal, or I can't do this because blah. wouldn't approve or something. So yeah.
Yeah, that's that makes a lot of sense. But like, I'd imagine as you learn it more and more, you don't even think about it. It just becomes a habit in your playing, right?
Yeah, pretty much. It kind of becomes more like, at least for me, it became, every time I learned something new, it was like an exciting new tool that I was like, oh, I can't wait to try this in a new song or something like that. So, yeah, it just, I don't know. I started looking at it differently, I guess.
hmm Especially when you're incorporating classical with heavy metal.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Now, kind of going back to like the live show, because I'd imagine, you're combining elements of all your catalog from Emerald Seas to the albums previous. So is it maybe like a little bit harder to sort of get the story of the album across when, you're varying the set list a little bit and you obviously can't play the whole album in full?
It is, but I don't know, because we have 2 albums to draw from at this point, I kind of figured like it would be cool if we used our live show to express the world of Emerald Seas. So, we all upgraded our stage outfits, and we got new scrims, and I had this custom mic stand built for me. I designed it, and the Rebel mic stands made it a reality, and it's basically, it has a figurehead on it. It's like a woman's body with a ram skull. So I wanted it to be like the figurehead of the ship from the story, and then I would stand behind it and yell at people like the captain would, I guess.
That's awesome. That's like, it's almost, you should do a Broadway show. Imagine Seven Spires on Broadway.
Oh man, that would be something else.
Yeah, you should totally do that.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Yeah. So before we go, first off, I want to thank you so much for your time. It's great to be able to talk to you again. I'm sorry that everything's kind of gone to shit at this time, but I know that you have a GoFundMe set up for everything for the cancel tour and everything like that. Is there any other way that fans could support you in terms of like your merch and anything like that?
Oh, supporting us by buying merch and albums always helps. And just even if you can't do anything, like sharing our GoFundMe or our merch store, or even streaming our stuff. Everybody knows that streaming doesn't generate a lot of income, but if everything helps, and also it helps me to help other people. So if I know that we can provide a little bit of entertainment during this very quarantine time, then I'm happy.
There you go. And we're waiting for you to come back. We'll see you very soon.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Anytime. Great to talk to you. Everybody, Adrienne of Seven Spires, Emerald Seas, out now. Be sure to pick that up. This is Alex from Heavy New York. We'll see you next time.